Well, I think we're about ready to go. Here we are for another Friday night 9-ball, and we've just started. That's the matches that are up and running at the moment. We're going to have a quick look at the bracket, and right, we'll see the matches that are underway. We've got McClarkey against Wizard Cheat, and remember it's handicap tournament. Wizard Cheat's getting 6 and out. Quite a hefty handicap again. We've got Federman, who's got a bye. Larry has a bye as well. And the other matches going on is Dirties against Dirties against Popman, and Dirties is getting 7 and out. DJ Simon has a bye, and then the last match is Tom Webb's against Daily Hustle. They're playing scratch. So the first match we're going to drop in on we're going to see how McClarkey handles this big handicap he's given Wizard Cheat, and we'll drop in that match. Remember, race to 7, and they're just lagging off now. Well, it's difficult to see who's who here because they're both showing house cues. So player 2 is Wizard Cheat, getting 6 and out. Wizard Cheat wins the lag. So 6 and out means that as soon as the balls get to the 6 ball, all of those balls are Wizard Cheat's money ball. If they go in at any time during a legal shot, he wins the rack. Meanwhile, McClarkey, he has to pot them all to win a rack, so the pressure's on him not to make mistakes. And for the moment, the stream quality looks good. That'll probably change. Now we've got an open table here, and McClarkey is 2,100 odds. So once again, any player who's rated 2,100, you've got to expect him to run out. Now he won't do it by playing shots like that because he's overhit it. And now he's either going to go for a very thin cut or a bank. He's went for the bank, he's missed it. And now Wizard Cheat just needs to pot the 4, the 5 and then the 6 ball. Well, that's 7 ball. If he played a partial stun shot here, he could use the 7 to hold to play for the 5. But if you've seen Wizard Cheat before, and with the greatest of respect, not an awful lot of thought goes into his shots, and he's got away with it. Now McClarkey could bank the 4 back towards the 6 and the 7, take the cue ball up the table. And that's a good safe. Now Wizard Cheat could have a smash here and try and billiard that 7 onto the 6. There's no knowing what might happen, and I think that's what he sort of tried. Once again, he's got away with it. Now this time McClarkey has got to be careful because he's hooked on the 4, and he's got to play a gentle shot up behind this 4 because Wizard Cheat could very easily pot these remaining balls to win the rack. This is why he's playing it gentle. He doesn't want to open anything out. This is where you've got to play wisely when you're giving away a hefty handicap. You can't do anything silly. And of course he's done something silly. He's hit the 4 and forgot to actually hit a rail. So Wizard Cheat had ball in hand, and straight away he's created a problem for himself. He's hooked himself in the 5, and McClarkey, I think, has got away with it. Well, I think he can partially see the edge of the 5. Now this time the rack should be over. And that's 8 ball is not directly on the rail, I don't think. I think it's away from the rail a touch, which is handy. But McClarkey has got the wrong angle in the 7, and he's got to play something to leave himself a decent shot in this 8. And he's going to play it long. Got to watch that middle knuckle. Sometimes these balls along the rail will suddenly catch that knuckle. Just exactly like that. But once again, he has, well, I say he might have got lucky, but Wizard Cheat's going to go for the bank. So this for the rack. And in it goes. And that's how quickly you can win or lose a rack when you're given handicaps. And the 9 ball's going in off the break. That'll get re-spotted. We're playing spot money. Now again, if Wizard Cheat is looking for a decent safety, he's not playing it. He's got the bank in the 1. I think, can he squeeze through to that 3 ball? I don't know whether he can. He might be able to see enough of it to maybe cheat the pocket, but not an awful lot, I don't think. He would have to graze very close to the 4 ball, so he's just playing the edge, trying to bank it towards the 5, maybe off 2 rails. Well, he's played it gentle, it needs to go in. And he's scratched as well, and that's a bit of a disaster. Well, believe it or not, that 6 ball was going in, I think, until the cue ball brushed it again. So once again, McClarkey's at the table, and this isn't an easy out because the 6 ball's tied up on that side rail. Now, Wizard Cheat again, not really thinking strategically, because he's done himself an injustice there by bringing the 6 ball out into play. Now it is one of his money balls, but he's just straight away made it easier for McClarkey to win the rack. All these balls pot. Now how is he on this 6 ball? Well, again, these can rattle in the jaws because he's just gonna have to be gentle now. How's the angle on that 7? Well, is it going to go in off the 8 or is it going to go clean? Well, he's okay. So straight away McClarkey gets it back on level terms. And breaks off in rack number 3. Now in about 10 minutes time, Usain Bolt, I think, is going to be running in his first round of the 100 metres at the World Championships in London, just in case anybody's thinking of watching it. This will be his last championships. He's going to be retiring after it. Not that that's anything to do with pool. So McClarkey, ball in hand, once again. Well, straight away he's left that shot in the 3 ball, and it just means the cue ball's doing a bit more. And already he's out of line. He's having to do more work with the cue ball. He needs to avoid the 5 if he can. He's managed to do that. Now this should be plain sailing, providing he just drops behind that 7 ball. Well, he's overcut it, and oh, I thought that was just going to hang up in the jaw. Now, anything but dead straight in the 8 ball. Well, he can pinch a wee bit of an angle. So McClarkey's going into the lead. Now, for anybody who's not seen these handicap matches, believe me, these handicap matches can change very quickly either way. The stronger player's looking good and everything's going according to plan, and all of a sudden he's lost 2 quick racks. That can happen very easily. So we've had a ball in the break. Oh yeah, that's what I've done. I've actually reduced my HUD. I need to see what balls I've gone. Hang on a minute, just adjust my settings. Miscellaneous. Now where the hell is it? Players HUD, top HUD, full HUD. That's what we'll do. That's a bit better. Oh, I forgot to check my little doodle thing. See, it's working okay. Right, that's fine. So we're at 2 racks all. I missed exactly what happened there, but anyway, Wizard Cheat won and squared the match again. And all of a sudden the stream has now started buffering on my end. I don't know what it's like for the guys that are watching, if there's anybody still watching. Now McClarkey, oh dear, now that, I was just at the point that ball rolled onto the 7, I was about to say there's too many balls dangerously close to pockets. The 9 ball was there, the 7 ball was there, and lo and behold, he's flicked it in, and all of a sudden it's 3-2. So when all these multiple money balls are lying around the table, if there are any of them close to pockets, it's very likely flukes and mistakes and accidents can happen. And McClarkey's rushing it a bit, and I've got the hiccups. He's rushing it too much here. And the one thing you don't do in these situations is change the way you play. I mean, maybe he wants to try and play fast anyway, but it's not going to help your situation. You just got to slow things down, take your time. Because once again, we're getting to the dangerous part of the rack for McClarkey. Again, this is not a nice angle in the 4 ball. He can draw over to the left-hand rail as we look. And he's left it hanging. And again, Wizard Cheat just needs the 3 balls. He just needs to pot the 4, get the cue ball out a little bit, and draw back off the 5 and leave a straight 6. That's how he wins the rack. Whether he'll end up doing that is a different thing. Well, he's left that awkward. The cue ball's going to go forward. And now he's relying on luck to get on this 6 ball. And he's got on it. And it's 4-2, and McClarkey has got to think a bit more here, strategy-wise. Because when the stronger player is underperforming and doing less than he's expected to do, then he's going to end up getting hammered by this handicap. Straight away again, he's got no shot in the 2, so he needs to get wise here. He needs to play a good safe. Well, he's going for it. Again, a judgment of pace here needed, because to get on that 4 ball, the cue ball's got to be way over to the left. Right over to the left hand rail somehow or other. Or he has to find that little gap. And he's found... Well, has he found the potting angle in the 4? I don't think he has, so he's just looking to kill the cue ball. He's got the snooker. So this is a perfect example now where McClarkey must run out. He must live up to that 2,100 rating. He's got ball in hand. There's no problem with any balls on the table. It's just about getting that cue ball in the right place. And he's got a very slight angle in the 5, but he's had to run the cue. Well, maybe it wasn't a great angle, so now again he's out of shape and he needs a good shot here. He might end up playing this 7 long. Once again, he's got a big wide angle, so the cue ball's running off that rail, maybe towards the 9. The 9 would be good if he hit it. He's missed that. And now a little gentle draw off the 8 would leave him a nice shot in the 9. He doesn't need to do anything dramatic. So he should get one back here. And I'm just going to refresh my second monitor here just to check what this stream's doing. Where are we? We should be back up in a sec. So we're in rack number 8 and McClarkey came up dry. Wizard Cheats potted a 1. And it isn't a good table to try running out here for McClarkey. 3 and the 6 balls tied up. 4 ball isn't exactly in a great place where that 9 and 8 ball are. I think he can maybe get to the angle to pot the 4. The 3, sorry. He should be able to draw off it. That's a good shot, unless he's going to hook him. No, he's okay. He's gone beyond the 8. Another good shot needed here. And he's... Well, that wasn't the best of shots. He's rattled the 4, but he's got away with it. Now the odds are very likely that McClarkey's going to have ball in hand again. No, maybe not. That was a good kick. Now a little edge off the 4. Left hand English off the right hand side rails. If he can get enough of it, he might be able to punch that 4 onto the 6. Well, that's what he's done. But once again, he's left it safe. McClarkey came off. If he comes off the left hand side of the 4, he can get the cue ball right down the table. Well, that's not a great safety, in all honesty. He's left a bank. He should have had that cue ball down at the bottom of the screen here. Yeah, that was just a poor strategy there, because now if Wizard Cheat can get on this 6 ball, McClarkey's going to lose another rack, and that needs to spin, and it's going to spin behind the 8. And you see what I mean when I'm talking about players thinking about what I keep talking about this every week, about how you should think about what you're doing. Play the percentage shots, don't get too ambitious, and just work with what you've got. Now that could have ended up going all bad for McClarkey. He's still got work to do. The 8 ball's on that right side rail, and he can't make a mistake, because these are all Wizard Cheat's money balls. Now, how does that look? Well, he's dead straight, so he's going to have to draw back and play this 8 long into the bottom right while he's forcing it round, and that needs a nice kiss. Well, that's the best he could probably come up with there, and it needs to hug the rail, and he's still got to get the 9, remember, and he's played it well. So one way or another, McClarkey's managed to get himself back on level terms. But a bit more thought needed here, I think. Now, did anything go there? Nope, dry break again. But look at these balls. These balls are perfect. And Wizard Cheat has overcut that one. McClarkey can see the edge of this. You just push it up the rail a little bit, bring that cue ball back across, and that's a better shot. Full snooker. Now, the question is, if Wizard Cheat doesn't negotiate this kick, can McClarkey hold himself together and do what's expected? Well, he's got the kick again, and he's pretty much got away with it. But again, this 1 ball should be up by the 2 and the cue ball on this bottom rail. But he's being aggressive, and look what's happened. Was that the right time to attack? I don't think it was. There's no way on earth I would have played that 1 ball. I would have played that safe. Instead, McClarkey's having to dig himself out a hole again. Well, that was a great shot. Oh, used the knuckle there of the middle pocket. Got the kick off it onto the 2. He's left the 2 up, but it was a good escape. But in all honesty, he shouldn't have even been in that position. But he'll probably get another chance in a minute or 2. Or will he? Can Wizard Cheat get this cut in the 3? No, he's overcut it. He's left it on. So this is a golden opportunity to get yourself into the lead here. Now, as long as he avoids hitting any of those 2 balls, the 8 and the 9, he should get a shot in the 4. He doesn't want to go right over to this right hand rail. Well, he's used the 9, and unfortunately that's blocked him. He's now going to have to jump, and straight away he's in problems here. And he's sent the cue ball off the table. And once again though, can Wizard Cheat pot 3 balls? Right, I'm just going to do another quick refresh. Now you can see where things are lacking in Wizard Cheat. Control of the cue ball certainly, and execution of shots. But that's the sort of level that he plays at. Whether he'll improve through time, we don't know. That depends how much you're willing to learn in this game. And it's very much like real life in that respect. Although it's only a computer game, the game gives you everything you can get from the real life game in terms of how you learn and how you improve. No doubt about that. Now here's a judgment of control, because that 7 balls blocked by the 9. So he's got to come back, and McClarky's overdone it, and that's going to be a disaster. He's scratched. And Wizard Cheat just needs to sink the 6 ball in hand. And he'll be back in the lead. So now McClarky's under pressure. And Wizard Cheat scratched off the break. The 2 balls tied up with the 7. Although the 2 ball, I think, does go. Let's have a quick look at that. Yes, it goes, no problem. This is where you slow your game down and you make sure you do everything right. And look at that. There's no excuse for that, I'm afraid. He's had to try and kick the 3 in. He's missed it. Like what I was saying there is, you take your time and you make sure you do things right, and that you're not going to be doing something silly like that when you've got ball in hand. And straight away it's back to McClarky. Wizard Cheat scratches. Now again, he's overhit that. He's wanting to know where the bloody stream is, and he's playing in the game. So McClarky in control. And now this is a soft draw shot. Well, he's come across. He had 2 choices of doing it. He's got himself on the 8, and it should be just a roll through. Nothing elaborate. I better give him this link to keep him quiet. So McClarky is going to square the match up again at 5-all. He has the break. Now what he would do for a ball in the breaking position on the next ball here. And it doesn't look as if he's going to get it. Although he's left nothing on for Wizard Cheat. He could play a push out, he could kick at the 1. But with the balls all in the open, maybe not a wise move. But once again, he might have got away with it. I think he has, because I don't think he can get to the cutting angle in the one past that 9. Good evening, Andy. Is the stream working okay for you? Because see, since I did my last update for this XSplit, I'm getting a lot of buffering all the time. Although the stream quality says it's good, it's green. But I've got a constant circle on my monitor here when I'm watching it. Yeah, I don't know. Unless it's my bandwidth or something that's mucked up somewhere along the line. Oh, there's a poor shot by McClarkey. But again, he's got away with it this time. So we're 5-all in a race to 7. And that was maybe not the best effort at kicking the 2-ball. So once again, McClarkey has ball in hand. Now I've yet to see him run a rack out here with ball in hand. And with it lay these balls here, you've really got to expect to do it. The one thing I would say in McClarkey's favour, and this is going back to the years that he played Virtual Pool 3, he certainly is not a player that plays an awful lot of Virtual Pool 4. He's not been on Virtual Pool 4 online for a long time, and this is really the first time he's been back for a number of weeks at a time. So he certainly doesn't get the gameplay in. Whether he plays any offline Virtual Pool 4, I don't know. But you can't get to 2,100 and not be expecting to run out racks. You've got to be able to do it. And it's just a gentle roll in the 7. He's got the wrong angle on the 8, so he can go off that rail there, off here, or he can gently put it in. That's fine. It was difficult to see whether he could hold it, so he's got a straight 9. He could have went round the 2 angles there. So this time McClarkey's got himself crucially in the lead and breaking off in rack number 12. The 4 balls gone in, and lo and behold, he's got a shot in the 1. The 2 balls up the table. He's got a perfect angle to stun up for the 2 if he wants to, or he can go off the rail, whatever he wants. This could go wrong. Oh, he's avoided that. Now the only thing here that's the problem is I think he's dead straight in the 2. No, he's got a very slight angle. Roll the 3 in. Cue ball off the bottom rail. If he avoids the 6 ball, he should be fine. Now this is a crucial shot now, because that cue ball's gone out of line, and this is a difficult 5. But once again, the cue ball can come off that side rail next to the middle pocket and out. And now it's easier. Just dead weight the 6 ball in. He's going to be lying right behind the 7, and it should be all over. Now ideally, he wants to get this cue ball off the side rail. He doesn't want to go straight. He could go straight and just draw back, but that just makes things a little bit more uncomfortable. And now that wasn't the best shot. He's now going to have to punch this through. And he's okay. So it looks like McClarkey, unless he rattles and hangs this 9 ball up in the corner pocket, McClarkey should be through to the next round. And he wins the match by 7 racks to 5. So he's managed to scrape through there, but as I say, he's going to come up against a lot better quality players in this tournament, and he might be found out. That remains to be seen. So let me just do my update, get this refresh rate a bit better. Right, McClarkey is now through to play Federman, and Federman I think is getting the 8 ball. Larry's still waiting on a winner of the first round match between Gunnett and DJ Redo. They're at 4-3 at the moment. DJ Simon still waiting a result from Potman and Dirties. It's 4-3 to Potman in that match. And Tom Webb's against Daily Hustle. A Hero Men Kill is waiting to play the winner of that match. So, what will we do? We will drop in and have a look at the Potman and Dirties match. Dirties is getting 7 and out. And Potman's just gone another rack in front. He's now leading by 5 racks to 3. Breaking up in rack number 9. 3 ball has gone into the top right. And no real shot in the 1. Now that little nudge off the 4 has just worked out nice there. Full ball snooker. Easy to kick at the 1, but no real idea where the 1 ball's going to end up. And I think he'll accept that. There's a very thin cut in the 1 here. Again, the cue ball's going to be running all over the place. He's going to have to hit that with pace to get the cut, so he just tried to play it safe. There's a good opportunity to get that cue ball up by the 5 ball here. A lot of right hand English come around the angles. That'd be the shot I'd be playing. Off there, and up that way. Well, he's got the cut. He's going to be on the 2. But the problems are that the 4 ball is in no great potable position. So, I mean, you could have a 4-5 combo. So he's tried to move them. He's nudged the 4. The 4 is potable, but now the hard work has to get done. So remember, Dirties is player 2. He's got 7 and out, so he's got the 4, the 5, the 6 to get. Had a slam at the 4. And Potman has to run the table to win the rack. Now if he gets this 4, he's going to be on the 5, no problem. No reason why he shouldn't run out. Now he needs to come up and have a look at that 7 ball. The 7 doesn't pass the 9. That's what he's doing at the moment. So he's got to work out a better way. He could, well, he could try coming back, or he could go forward and leave the straight 7 ball into that top pocket as we look. Or he could draw back. Well, he's run through and he's overdone it. And that's ended up in a whole lot of trouble, unfortunately. And of course, Potman now is up the proverbial creek without a paddle, because if he doesn't get this hit on the 6 on the 7 and get it safe, he's losing the rack. Well, he's going to play the jump. The 8 ball's pretty close. But if he doesn't get the pot, he's just got to ride his luck here. And he needs to watch that clock. He's got the hit in the 7. And how's his luck? Well, it's not too bad. I mean, that 7 does cut. It's very thin, and with the thinness of the cut, there's a very strong danger of a scratch here. Watch that cue ball. Well, he didn't get it enough. So Popman lives to fight another day. Now, can he get this 7 ball? He'll be on the 8, no problem. So this is a 7 ball rack. Whoever gets this 7 ball is going to win. There's a result come in. Daily Hustle has beaten Tom Webbs by 7 racks to 4. Remember, it's double elimination, so Tom Webbs, provided he's aware and he stays online, he'll get another chance. Meanwhile, Popman's potted a 7, a good pot. A little roll through in the 8 and a roll up in the 9, and he's home and dry in this rack. Well, he's came out because the 9 goes into the middle as well, but 6.5 a dozen. So Popman is now sitting on the hill, needing 1 more rack and breaking off in rack number 10. Well, of course, for those of you that are watching, that have watched this stream before, you know the situation by now. Friday night 9 ball, I would love to do the whole tournament. My intention is always to do that, but the tournament goes on a lot longer than, unfortunately, my time restrictions allow. So when it gets to 10:30, folks, that's when I pull the plug. But the good news is that next week I've got a week off, so provided there's a Friday night 9 ball and provided there's a Monday night 9 ball Scotch doubles and possibly a Thursday night 10 ball Scotch doubles, I would certainly be streaming all of those, and I'd be able to do the whole tourneys. No rush to get to bed when it's your week off. And meanwhile, Popman's at the table. Now this shot here, he's very close to the rail, so he can't really get much on this cue ball. Got to avoid the scratch, and he couldn't. So now Dirties has got ball in hand. He's got the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, and got to get to the 7 to win this rack and to stay in the match. The pressure's on Dirties now from the point of view that he's got the work to do in this rack, and he's got a problem straight away. He's pretty straight in the 4, and he's got to find that gap to get on the 5. And of course he's slammed it. And he's actually maybe done himself a favour there. He's blocked the path for the 5, but Popman no doubt will play the combo, because the natural angle is the cue ball's coming off the left rail over to the right. And that's what he's going to do. And this has got to be gentle, because that 5 ball, he doesn't want it to be running away off this rail. Got to just run it dead weight to keep it there. And he's done that. So that's that objective complete, and now out into the middle diamond here, unless he wants to get elaborate, but he really just wants to be shooting the 7 from there or from here, because if he does, he's got the angle to drop behind the 8. He could run through for the 8 that way, and he's tried to get it from the middle pocket, and the danger is getting close to that 9. He's avoided that, but that was a risky shot, and now he's got too much angle in the 7. And he's getting himself out of shape here needlessly. And this has got to be delicate. Well, what's he doing? Taking this in the middle. He needs a little bit of, well, I'd be drawing it back, but he's running through, and again he's kissed into the 9. So he's having to pull out shots here, and this could be his last chance here to win this rack. And watch the cue ball again, because it's tracking for a scratch. He's got away with it. So Potman wins the match by 7 racks to 3. Right, that'll give me a chance to do a quick refresh again. This bloody buffering thing's doing my head in. And we'll have a quick look at the bracket, which should have updated by now. McClarkey's playing Federman, and McClarkey's up 2-0. And DJ Simon is just about to play Potman. Larry's still waiting on a winner in that match between Gunnett and DJ Redo. It's at 5 racks all. And Daily Hustle is 2-0 up against a Hiramen Kill. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop in on the DJ Simon and Potman match. Potman might have taken a bathroom break. DJ Simon's gone into the room. I'll get a quick drink. DJ Simon just waiting and Potman arriving. Now, I don't think there'll be a great handicap in this match. DJ Simon's just over 2,000. And again, just a reminder that when you are sitting in the game lobby and you're in a tournament, when I'll say that again, when your room goes up, you get an audible alert in the lobby that lets you know that your room is up, and you should join it, because as soon as the room is up, you have 5 minutes to get in. If you don't get in, you will forfeit the match. So Potman is probably waiting until he gets his final warning to join the room. So he might be away getting another beer or a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. Or he might have actually got called away, and we might not have a match at all. You never know. Right, here we go. Lag's about to go. And I don't know who's who. So it's going to be a scratch match. So there's no handicap, and that's a bad lag because that's going into the pocket. That's the thing, when you play the lag in Virtual Pool 4, you've got to be careful, because that cue isn't sitting centred in the cue ball, and you can end up playing a lag with English on it, and the cue ball goes all over the place, just like that one did. So DJ Simon won the lag, and he's came up dry. The 2 ball squeezes past the 5, but can he get on it? And that's a good shot. He's sitting perfect on this 2, and just a little nudge off that bottom rail, he can get the cue ball up between the 6. Well, he's tried to be cute there, and it's all gone wrong. He should have actually had the angle. The shot to play was to bring the cue ball up here, and that way would have had the 3 into the pocket. And he's tried to be cute to leave the 3 into the middle. And again, you're asking yourself to play delicate shots with control of the cue ball, to put the cue ball in a specific spot that is asking a lot. You've got to give yourself margins for error here. Well, he's jumped to 3, and would you believe it, he's hooked Simon behind the knuckle. And this is what you've got to think about, how you play your game. The shot to play there always was to get the cue ball up into the middle of the table, to leave yourself a shot on the 3. That was a guaranteed certainty to get a shot in the 3. The shot he played had to be accurate, and the accuracy wasn't there. and that's why he ended up hooking himself. So as it is though, Potman's got ball in hand. DJ Simon missed a kick, and the 4 ball goes past the 5. Again, this is a gentle little shot. If you play this with a little bottom and left, you could punch off the rail into the 6 and hold for the 5. And he's done nothing with it, so he's just going to clip this and come round the left hand side of the 6. Needs to avoid the 6. He's managed to do that. So the crucial shot is getting from the 7 to the 8. Now the simple way to do that is to get the cue ball closer to the right hand rail than the 7 is, and that way you've got an angle. But I don't know what his shot's like in the 6. Well, he's got an angle in it. And this is going to go wrong. He's miles away from the 7, and he's going to have to force this right through, get the cue ball right around the angles, and he could just come between the 8 and the 9, and that's exactly what he did. But the problem there is that the distance he was from the 7, he had to really bang that 7, and we've seen what happens if you just get it slightly offline. They just won't go in these tables. And Simon's got the bank in the 7. He's going to have to do another one in the 8. And the cue ball will go over to the right. So he's got to watch the pace on this bank. He can't slam it. He's got to let that 8 ball take the angle to get to the pocket. Well, it looks as if Simon's got dragged away doing something. He's going to run out of time here. Or I'm out of sync, one of the two, or there's a disconnection going on. There's something going amiss here, because it hasn't changed turn, so someone has lost their connection, and DJ Simon has lost his connection. Now, a reminder that a player who disconnects abnormally from the game, like their internet goes down or something, they've then got 5 minutes to get back into the room, or again they will forfeit the match. Now that notice will go down as soon as Simon gets back into the room, which he's managed to do. So now he's back looking at the bank on this 8 ball. And as I said earlier, he's got to play this with the right pace. Well, he's decided against it, and he hasn't played a good safe, and he's left a shot for Potman, who can certainly pot the 8. Cue ball's going to come off the left hand side. It should just go there and there for the 9. Just a nice gentle pot in the 8, and that'll do. He's run a wee bit further than you would like, but he should get this 9. And that was not a good shot by Simon. Really, that bank was a good bank on the 8 ball, because the 8 ball was near that first diamond, and that's always a good judge about how good the bank is. And as it is, he's sold out in that rack, and it's 1-0 to Potman. Because if you're going to decline that bank, you've got to make sure you get the ball safe. So Potman breaks off in rack number 2, dry break. Nothing on for Simon. He could try the combo. He'd have to make it though on this 8 ball. He's going to look to try and tuck behind the 7. And that again, well, I thought he'd actually left that up, but that's easy enough to kick in. Just needs to judge the angle off the rail. He's got that. How's his luck in the 2? Well, he could have a go at the pot in the 2. He might even billiard the 9 in with the cue ball here. You never know. Watch that 9 ball. Well, he's nudged behind the 9. The 9 is still open and the 4's still open. And although he's cutting this 3 ball back, he should be on the 4. He's going to be playing it at distance though. Now when you look at the angle that's on the 4, he needs to be here. Now how is he? Well, he's dead straight, so he can just roll through. Play the 9 from the short side, don't get elaborate. Or play the 5 from the short side, I should say. I think I said the 9. Just a little gentle roll. Well, that wasn't executed very well, was it? So let's see if Simon can run out. He might play this with a tad of right English just to check the cue ball off the left rail, stop it running away up the table. Well, he's played it gentle enough, didn't even need to get to the rail. So this will be the crucial shot, getting on the 6. Well, again he's deciding to leave it long. And a nice angle on the 7. And we should be all square. Oh dear. Well, it's a tournament. I certainly wouldn't be giving it back. I'd be potting that 9 ball. He can't faff about. Had his finger on the S button while he was moving his mouse, and he's played a shot. No such thing nowadays as a mouse part with all these laser mice. So Simon threw away a chance there. It's 2-0 to Potman. Potman's broke, come up dry. Well, I think he has. The 8 ball's going to go. The 8 ball's just crawled into the pocket. And these balls are sitting nice for both of these players. An open invitation here to practice your run out, practice your positional play. Now, what's he left himself here? Does that 2 ball squeeze past the 5? Yes, it does. But he's the wrong side of the 3 now, so wrong side of the 2. So he's going to have to work this cue ball. And he's judged the pace pretty good, but he's going to be hampered by the 9, I think. And I think he should just force this through, get the cue ball around the corner. Well, hampered by the 9, he's pushed the 3 ball offline. So here's a chance for Simon to redeem himself. Slight angle in the 4. Well, this is tough because he's neither here nor there on a pot. He can't cut that into the middle, so he's got to go into the bottom or the top pocket as we look, and he needs to watch the scratch. He's avoided that. He's got the pace right. Again, still the wrong side of the 6, so he's still got to work the cue ball. The worst thing he'll do here is hook himself behind the 9 if he's going up the table. And he's played it short, but he's left himself that slightly awkward cut. But he just needs to drop the 7 ball in. Cue ball goes out into the middle of the table. He's got the 9 into the middle pocket. So Simon gets 1 back. And he's breaking open rack number 4. And the 1 ball has gone into the left middle. The 8 ball's gone into the bottom left. He's got a shot in the 2. Cue ball back across off that side rail for the 3. And the 5 ball, a narrowish angle into the right hand middle. It certainly goes. So he just needs to bring the cue ball ideally somewhere off that rail over to about here. He's gone too far. Oh dear, all that room. A great big area to move the cue ball into, and he's made a hash of it. And now it's a kick and hope. And he's missed it. So, Potman, open invitation here. Help yourself. A roll through in the 5 into that left middle. 6 ball into the right middle. 7 ball into the bottom right hand pocket. And the 9 ball into the top right. Dead easy. Even I could run this table. That's how easy it is. And this has got to be just nice and gentle. And he's got the slight angle. Get the cue ball out sort of parallel or dead straight in the 9. And he's home and dry. And there's the result come in again. Daily Hustle's beaten a Hero Men kill by 7 racks to 2. And that was not a great shot. But what does Simon do? Because this isn't a good bank. The 7 ball's pretty close to the rail. And the last time he refused a bank, he ended up just setting the shot up for Potman. So this time he's gone for it, and he's got the double. The double-double. And he gets the 9 in. We're all square. 2 racks all. Not a great out by Potman. He should have ran that rack. That was just poor aiming, in all due respect, on that 7. Simon's potted the 4. And a good safety. The cue ball tucked up close to the 7. The 8. Potman's got the kick, but he's left the 2 on. Now here's a test of Simon's positional play and control of the cue ball. It looks as if he's going to have to play the 3 long, and we saw in an earlier match that middle pocket is dangerous when you're tucking this 3 ball along the rail. You've got to watch that jaw. It seems to jump out and grab balls. He's managed to avoid that. And another good shot needed on the 5. And here's the crucial one. Now, I'd be going straight forward and back down this right hand side rail. Now he needs to get enough on it, and once again he's made a hash of it. The only place he could put the cue ball, look at the area that he had to work with, and he stuck himself behind the 8. And now you're going to have to dig out the jump cue at distance, it has to be said, to try and pot this 7. And he's... Well, the best thing about that is he's missed it by so much. He's got a pretty good save because he's hooked pot man behind the 9. I think he has. Let's have a quick look. Yep. There's no way he's getting to that. Well, as I say, if you're going to miss, make sure you miss that bad that you get it good. And that's one of these shots. Perfect. Well, he's trying to jump, but is he not too close to that 9? No, he's avoided it. Missed the 7 on the way up and kicked it. And it's a chance for Simon. And this is a shot I would play dead weight. I would just roll the 7 in. You're either going to pot it or you're not. But that way you don't let the cue ball run. He's overcut it by quite a margin. Got himself on the 8, but a lot went offline there on the cut in the 7. Again, simple enough. 8 ball, roll it through. Let the cue ball just run off the right side rail and back out. Just concentrate on the 8. The cue ball will do the rest. Well, Simon's had his chances, but he's going to find himself 3-2 down in a second. And dry break. Good chance of a safety here though. Now, has he got the cover? Yes, he has. Well, that's going to be ball in hand. And Simon lining up the 1-9 combo. In a shot like this, you've just got to imagine that the 1 ball is actually the cue ball. Now that was a good chance of a combo there. He's missed it, and now he might live to regret it. Two balls not in a great place. Where's the 1 going? And off the 3, that's where it's going. Now, can he get to that angle? Yes, he certainly can. He can cut the 2. Cue ball will be out nice for the 3 into the middle. And he should have the angle to drop down onto the 4 as well. Oh, that was not a great shot at all. He chickened out there. Cue ball stone dead behind the 3. So here's Simon's chance again. Now, what is there on this table that's going to stop Simon from running out? Playing a shot like that, that's exactly what's going to stop him doing it. Got that far too thin, just grazed the 3 ball and thrown away his chance. So Simon's had 2 great chances. Ball in hand with a 1-9 combo, missed that. A great chance there, made a hash at the 3 ball. And Potman back at the table with a great chance to run out as well. And got lucky. And he's got lucky again because he certainly wanted to avoid hitting that 6, but he's knocked it into a potable position. He can just drop it in. And the straighter he can finish on this 7 ball, the better, because he could just roll through for the 8. And that's pretty much perfect. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Just roll it through and don't roll through too far. And try and stay away from the rail as much as he can. He wants to finish roughly on that 8 ball like there. Well, he's left it short, but that's actually a good shot because he can still just drop the 8 in and finish on the 9. And in it goes. So, Potman has opened up a gap. No thanks to the help of DJ Simon though. And Larry has managed to play his match and he's won against Gunnett by 7 racks to 1. And Wizard Cheat, playing on the 1 loss side, has beaten a Hero Men Kill by 4 racks to 0. Now, no doubt Wizard Cheat was getting a hefty handicap in that match as well. And meanwhile, Potman's broke off in rack number 8. Rack number 7. And he's potted the 5 ball on the break. No shot in the 2 though. And can you see enough of that 2 to actually get a decent safety? Well, this time I think Simon can see the 2, but it's not easy. Let's look at what he's got. He can just roll the 2 in. A little bit of pace off that rail. And he's undercut it, left the 2 on. It was never an easy shot, that 2 ball. Well, that 4 ball's only going into that top left hand corner or one of the middle pockets, but the candidate is at top left. I don't think it goes past any of those 2. No, it doesn't. It's blocked off. And he's hooked himself. Well, here might be a chance for DJ Simon in a second or 2. Potman looking to kick at the 4. Or is he lining up a jump again? Let's have a look. Well, He's got the hit. How's his luck? Well, there you go. He's flicked to 4. Now that 6 ball, believe it or not, looks a reasonable bank. Maybe it's actually slightly offline, but you can make it. He's going the wrong way, I think, though. He needs to go to the right to make the bank. He's going... I don't know what he did. I think he just tried to get it safe, and that's not bad. But again, there is a possible bank on, but Simon's troubled by that 7 ball. Very easy to put English on this, so he's just again content to play a decent safety, which he's done. Again, Potman quite happy to try and jump these. Where's the 6 going this time? Oh dear, well, I thought he'd flicked it off the 9. So, it has to be said, Simon has to get this rack to stay in touch. And that could have been better. He's left a thin cut in the 7. And he needs to be careful with the cue ball here. He's got it okay. And another result has come in. And McClarkey has been beaten by 7 racks to 6 by Federman. And McClarkey moves over to the 1 loss side. And DJ Simon has got 1 rack back. He's potted certainly the 6 ball off the break. The 1 does go past the 8. How does he hold for the 2 though? Well, he's decided to try and again play a safety. How's his safety this time? Well, it's gone beyond the middle pocket, and I don't know whether Potman can cut that without scratching. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but the double kiss off the 1 has scratched the cue ball, so it's another chance for DJ Simon in this rack. Opportunity to get another one back, tie the match up. Get the cue ball out far enough to get on that too. Well, how's the angle in the 3? Can just roll through. And a nice angle in the 4. He can drop behind the 5. Well, he could drop behind it. He needed to stun that more. He's now kissed straight into the 5. And he's got no shot. He needs to get this very thin. And that looks good. It's tucking up behind the 9, I think. Very good shot. And this again, Potman, I would guess, is digging out the jump stick. Yeah. Oh, he's flicked to 7. Well, that's the sort of luck you need. Now he needs to stop that cue ball or draw it back about 6 inches to get a decent shot in this 8 ball to get the cue ball out and around for the 9. He can't leave it dead straight in this 8 from distance. And he's actually gone the opposite way. He's played it far too hard. He needs to watch the scratch in that top left hand corner pocket here. He's avoided it, but he's got an awkward cut from distance. Well, it looked like Simon was going to get one back there, but that poor shot to get in the 5, and that fluke by Potman. But can Potman sink the 9? Yes, he can. And so Potman opens up the 2-rack gap again, leading by 5 racks to 3, and that was a gilt edge chance for Simon to tie it up there, but thrown away, I'm afraid. Now, don't tell me Potman's disconnecting this time. What's happening now? I'll do a quick refresh here. Back in a second. Well, Potman's not said anything in the chat, so I don't know whether he's been called away or whether he is disconnecting. We shall find out, no doubt, in a second or two. Oh, maybe I can't see it for the chat. I've got a little counter at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. I couldn't see all the chat. I see that now. Well, he looks as if he's dry break this time. No shot in the 2, I don't think. Well, Simon managed to land the cue ball on the top of the 2, but he's left it on. But Potman may well just have a look at that 3-7 and leave it as a combo, than maybe try and be too elaborate here. Just try and get the cue ball out into the middle of the table. Well, that's not great, but it's still a shot. Well, didn't even attempt the combo, and all he's done is left a thin cut for Simon. But can he get in the 4? And he's overcut it. And is he going to get second prize? Yes, he is. But no doubt Potman will jump over the 6, try and jump towards that right hand jaw and just catch the edge of the 3 and knock it in. If that cue ball keeps travelling, that's ended up a pretty good shot. He's got a thin cut, but the 4 certainly goes, and he should be on the 6, as long as he doesn't run too far. You don't want to bring the cue ball right over here. He's left it in the middle of the table, which is actually the best position. So it's all about getting onto the 8. Needs to get far enough up the table here. And that's not a great shot. Well, it looks a dead set bank here and a little drawback for the 9. He could get the bank on the first way up, but he could get a double bank if he misses it. And as it is, he's got neither. But once again, that looks a good bank. Bank up to that corner pocket there, and the cue ball going that way to come back down for the 9. But he's declining it. He's looking for a safety, and he's not got it. And that's perfect. Potman can just drop the 8 ball in and let the cue ball run down the left-hand rail for the 9. And now it's crisis point here for Simon. Well, he didn't let the cue ball run very far. This isn't a dead cert. He's left himself further away from the 9 than he really should have. But in it goes, and there's now, we're at the point of no return. Potman is leading by 6 racks to 3. He's going to break off in rack number 10. And nothing doing. Now there's danger straight away. 9 ball, very adjacent to that corner pocket. Where's the cue ball going? Well, it's now been nudged away. And there's still a good chance of a safety here as well for Potman. Can bank the 1 ball up the table, but he needed to get that cue ball travelling further. That cue ball didn't have any pace in it. He wanted that cue ball down here, somewhere in there, to try and hide that 1 ball. Well, no prizes for guessing what Simon's doing here. Got the cue ball nailed behind the 5, so Potman's got to look for a kick. And I don't know, well, he can certainly get to the rail. He needs to put maybe a little tad of right English on there to make the angle, or he could come off the 2 rails. He could go there and hit it direct, or if he misses it, he can go there and kick it. Well, he's hit it. How's his luck? He's left it on. And this needs a delicate little draw shot. And you actually need to dig right into this 3 ball to get that cue ball between the 6 and the 4. Well, I don't know that was a shot, because there was not enough pace on it to get beyond the 6. So again, Simon's just got to look for a safety. And I don't think that was the best shot that Potman will ever play. He's left a delicate little 4. Simon's pushed it to the jaw and left it up. And Potman's got no shot. He can play the 4-5 combo, or he can try and, I don't know whether he can feather the edge of the 4. No, he can't. But no doubt he'll be happy with that. How's that look? Well, Simon can see it. Not all of it, but he can see some of it. But this time he's not got the cover. So here's Potman's chance to run out and win the match. Oh, well, ball's another foot now. Likewise for Simon. This to stay in the match. Well, he's going to end up playing this 6 ball at distance. Not the ideal situation. Where's the 9 going? Oh dear, has he left it up? No, 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 no. What's he done this time? Well, good luck with the kick. This could be his last shot in this match. He's missed it. Where's that 7 going? Well, the 9's hanging over the bag. I'd be just playing the combo and getting it over with. Ball in hand, just roll that 6 onto the 9. So in it goes, and Popman has beaten DJ Simon by 7 racks to 3. Right, so let's see how the bracket takes shape now. And we see that Larry is playing Federman. Oops. And Federman is getting the 6 ball, but Larry is currently up by 3 racks to 0. Popman has moved through to play Daily Hustle. And on the 1 loss side, McClarkey is tied up at 2-all with Tom Webbs, and Tom Webbs is getting a 6 and out. So McClarkey's up against it in that match. Wizard Cheats already through. And DJ Simon is about to play DJ Redo, and I think Simon will be given a handicap in that match to DJ Redo. So again, he's going to have his work cut out to stay in the tourney. And I think what we'll do is we will nip in and see how Larry continues with his match with Federman. Well, Federman's a 2000 rated player, and the fact that he's 3-0 down would suggest that he's not been getting to the 6 ball. But he has a chance here, and this should be his first rack in the board. So, Federman breaking open rack number 5. He's got the 5 ball in the break. And he's got a shot on the 1. Although the cue ball's going to be running away from the 2. And straight away we've got danger. The 9 ball sitting there, just waiting to be knocked in. Well, now, what does Federman do? Is he going to go all out and try and cut this 2? Because that 3 ball squeezes past the 9, but he's got to have to punch this in though to get the cue ball back out. And no joy, he's hooked himself. So this is an easy enough kick. Now he might even kick this 3 in if he hits it right. But he's got to just hit and hope here. You need that little bit of luck. And is that going to hold to the rail? Well, it's a very thin cut. Now Larry could come off he's going to come off the left hand side as we look and play it thin, try and push it behind the 8 and the 7. And that's a shot to play. And that's got Federman in trouble. Let's see what he's got. Well, he's got a very thin edge there. He could actually play this with left English around the 7 and catch the edge of the 3, but it's very dangerous. He's caught it, but he's left it on. the best of shots there, Larry. Again, he's cutting this into a blind pocket. Cue ball's going to be going over towards the 9. He's trying to hold it and he's managed to do it. Anywhere over that right hand side would be ideal for a shot in the 8 into this bottom left. So Larry is going to go into a 4 racks to 1 lead. Three balls tracking up into that top right. And Larry's got a shot in the 1. All the balls are sitting there and this should be 5-1. This is the type of table a 2,200 rated player would run out. I think he's dead straight in the 2. This is a slight draw he's going to try and play, I think, or he could use a bit of angle to run through and just come off the end rail and up back towards us, like where the 2 is at the moment, and run the cue ball back. Well, he's decided just to run through, to leave it into the middle. How does that look? Well, that's looking okay. And McClarkey has came through in the loser's side there in that match, and he's beaten Tom Webbs by 4 racks to 3, so he's hanging in there. Well, the natural shot would just be to go like that. He could stun down with the cue ball down to here. Well, he's drawn back, so he must have been straighter than I thought. But this is going to have to be punched in to get the cue ball around and out for the 8 up at the top end of the table. He needs to force this through. And now he's got a nice little angle. Bring the cue ball off the rail and up here. Maybe the angle's not so good. He looks as if he's coming back the way. No, he's managed to find a line. So Larry, looking strong, was given the chance there and run out, and now leads by 5 racks to 1. Six balls gone in. 7 balls just been nudged in. Larry's got a shot in the 2. 3's hanging over the pocket. 4 ball goes into the middle. Well, it has to be said, if Larry can get this 1, then he should be home and dry in this rack as well. So this is a crucial shot. And that's the only place he could put the cue ball where he wasn't going to have a shot in the 2. Now what's he thinking here? Well, he can feather the right edge a bit. He looks as if he's maybe... Is he trying the bank? I think he's maybe trying the bank here. Or does he think he can cut it? Oh, he's scratched. Well, everything's went wrong there for Larry. A poor shot to get in the 2. And ball in hand for Federman. Now let's see what Federman's made of. He's 2000 rated. He should be able to get onto the 3 ball. And he's pretty straight in the 3. Now what does he do? He's playing top and a bit of right English. Got a nudge off the 5. He's almost got on the 4, so you can just cut it in. It needs to stay away from the 8, and well, not much you can say about that shot. It's the old bang it and hit and hope, because where are you going to put it for safety? He could actually try just punching it to that side rail and sending it up to behind the 9. You've just got to judge the weight on it. Now there is a margin of error here, but that would be the shot for safety. And sort of leave the cue ball looking in that direction. But it looks as if he's going to go for the old heave-ho. Well, there's no doubt Larry will be cutting that in. Well, Federman had a gilt-edged chance again there in that rack, and he threw it away, stuck the cue ball in the only place you wouldn't have a shot in the 8, and that's right next to it. But he might have another chance, because Larry's nudged the 9, and he's lining up the thin cut. Needs to watch the scratch. And he's overcut it. And where's the cue ball going to end up? Well, Federman has to go for this. It's off the rail, which makes it a lot easier. It's just about getting the cut right, and he should be okay. So that's one that's got away there. Federman managed to win the rack. Still trailing by 3. And now, was that a 3 ball that went into the middle? I think it was, and he's on the 1. Got a shot in the 2. He's got a shot in the 4. Oh dear. Well, he's rattled it. And this is not easy for Larry though, because the 1 ball stuck right in the pocket. And Larry hasn't got into it enough. But no doubt he should be playing a good safety. There's lots of cover there for that 2 ball. Just send the 2 ball up to here. And the cue ball down to here somewhere. Or over here, doesn't matter. But he's got 3 balls there acting as cover. And that will do. Now this time, the way these balls are lying, Federman's just got to have a bang and hope. And that's not a bad outcome, because Larry certainly, I don't think, can cut that. What's he got? Well, I don't know what he's going to do here. He's going to try and... He could try and bank this safe. And he's tried to bank it into the corner and get safety, and that's okay. Now Federman can use the 4 ball as a stopper, but he needs to hit the 2 very, very thin with a lot of right English. Try and get that cue ball right up to the top end where he is right now. Well, he's actually... He didn't get that thin enough. He's brought the 2 out, and Larry can cut that. And what he might actually try and just drop this 2 in, but there's a danger of a scratch if he plays this really soft. Well, did he play the safety instead? It doesn't matter, it's ended up pretty good. And it's an easy one to get out, easy to kick off the rail, rather than actually jump it. But the jump shot is the one to play if you're going to try and pot the 2, no doubt about that. And he would have had a shot in the 4, but he's missed it. Larry's got a lot of work to do here with this cue ball. From the distance he is away from the 2, he's not only got to pot the 2, but it's got to have enough in it to bring the cue ball back down the table here for this 4. Not an easy shot. And he's played it well and controlled it well, and he's got a nice angle. And he's certainly got plenty of room to avoid hitting the 8. But it's now ended up a bit of a problem because the 6 and the 7 ball, well, it's actually ended up a wee bit better because the 6 now pots. Now what does Larry do here? If he leaves the angle, he could leave the cue ball like here, so that he's potting the 6 and nudging the 9 and the 7, but he's relying on a bit of luck here. He can look to just hit the 9 fully and leave himself a shot in the 7. This can go wrong. When he's scratched, and that's the worst outcome. Now, can Federman run this table? Ball in hand, simple enough 6, but it's... Of course, what was I thinking about? It's a 6 ball money ball, isn't it? Oh dear, he scratched off the break. Well, that's one instance where the money ball did work. The extra money ball. Forgetting he had the 6 ball as his money ball there. So Federman has got another one back. He's still now trailing by 2 again. The 9 and the 4 ball are tied up. Now Larry's maybe going to look at splitting these right now because he should have a shot in the 2 when he pots this 1. That's exactly what he's going to try and do. And he's managed that, and he's managed to get on the 2. So once again, it's only going to be a poor positional shot that's going to undo Larry here. He's got to run out. And a little draw off the 4 here to leave that 5 into the left middle. Well, Well, Larry he's got enough room to draw the cue ball back a bit, but he doesn't want to get too aggressive because he could go too far and hook himself here, so he'll play on the safety side and leave it at distance. And this is all about just judging the pace. The natural shot's just to run off the rail and get the cue ball back up here, because when he pots the 7, that's the sort of angle the cue ball's going to go. Now let's see what angle he's got. He could actually come behind at 8. He's got 2 choices here. He can go that way and bring the cue ball up to here, and he's went the first way. And now I think the angle's there just to drop behind the 9. So he's going to leave the 9 long into this bottom right hand corner pocket, I think. Unless he's going to try something again elaborate. And DJ Simon has won his first match in the 1-loss side. He's beaten DJ Redo by 4 racks to 2. And meanwhile, Larry now is only needing 1 more rack. He's leading by 6 racks to 3. He's certainly got a ball in the break. And the 4 ball has gone down. He's got no shot in the 1 though. Well, Larry's doing his best to dig holes for himself here. He's scratched again. But how confident is that Larry that Federman can't run out? Well, he's got on the 2. He should be on the 3 as long as he hits this hard enough. He needs to come off the left rail, the right rail. Oh dear, well, that's not controlled well at all. He's scratched. And at that, I'm afraid, I'm going to say it, but that's Federman's last shot in this match. Now again, this shot's a little draw off the 5 onto the side rail. A gentle draw. And a fairly natural shot in the 6. Just send the cue ball off the right side rail and back out. And a nice angle again, a little angle there. Larry can just punch the 7 in, come off the right side rail and back out into the middle of the table. Well, that's perfect. He can do whatever he wants to the cue ball here. Either way, he's got a long shot in the 9, or he can leave the 9 into the left middle. That's the one he's going for. So Larry wins the match by 7 racks to 3, and Federman is going to have to battle his way through the 1-loss side. So the tournament's moving on a fair bit now. Let's have a resume at the... no, that's not the word. Let's have a look at the bracket. Well, so we'll see that Larry's moved through here. That'll update in a second or two. Popman is playing Daily Hustle. And Daily Hustle, who is getting the 5 ball as his extra money ball, he's 4-1 up against Popman. Meanwhile, McClarkey has gone through on the 1-loss side against Dirties. Federman is sitting there waiting on the winner of the match between Wizard Cheat and DJ Simon. And Wizard Cheat is getting 7 and out. And it's a race to 4, so we'll go back in and we'll have a look at this match. And I'll have a quick cough. And I think I'll blow my nose as well while I'm at it. So Wizard Cheat just needs to pot the 6, get on the 7 and roll the 7 in, and he's got a rack in the board. And I'm about to lose my voice, I think. Well, of course, remember the reason that Wizard Cheat plays soft breaks is because he doesn't have a cue, he doesn't have a break cue, he doesn't have a shooting cue, he just has a normal house cue, which is limited in the amount of power it has. So we are just short of 2 hours, it's almost 10 o'clock, and just a reminder folks that I've got approximately half an hour to go before the plug gets pulled. But as I mentioned earlier, next week I've got a week off, so I can guarantee that provided a tournament goes ahead next week, we'll get the full tournament in. And hopefully we will get the 9-ball Scottish doubles this Monday. So, not an easy 3-ball for Simon, but he's got it. And a gentle little pot in the 4, just to hold the cue ball for the 5. Oh dear, he's overcut the 4, and he might find himself 2-all here in a minute if Wizard Cheat takes his time. Well, he's left himself way short. He's slammed the 5 in, he's got a kiss, and he's got dead set in the 6, and he just needs to kill the cue ball, and he's overdone it by the country mile. He didn't need to do that. He's now left himself an awkward cut in the 7. Where's the cue ball? Cue ball's going to end up okay, and it's 2-all. And as I say, these matches can turn very quickly. 6 balls going in off the break. He's got no shot in the 1. Now he's played the push out. Not a good push out, because he just left an easy starter for Simon, who can drop in behind the 2, put it into the right middle. Now the big question here is can Simon get from the 3 to the 4? And he's left himself dead straight pretty much, so this is riding luck here to get position. And he's got the pace right. Now he should be able to drop behind this 5. He can come off that rail there and come up here. Needs to bounce. And he's almost there. And this 7 ball should be played into the right middle. Well, he's overcut that by a mile. Now Wizard Cheat just needs to somehow pot the 5 and the 7, and he's in the lead. He's got a bank on though. The bank is open. Well, what does Simon do here? A thin cut in the 5. Cue ball's going to be running. He's overdone it again. I'm pretty certain he played the pot there. But oh, he's left it on for Wizard Cheat. It's thin, but it's off the rail. Watch the scratch though. This cue ball could end up going in there. And he's avoided that, but he's going to have to dig out another good one in the 7. He could slam this for a bank. And in it goes. Once again, Simon is at the point of no return. Now 3-2 to Wizard Cheat. Remember, the one lost side is just a race to 4, so Simon can't afford too many more mistakes. That's going to scratch off the 3, which it does. So now ball in hand. And how's that 2-9 set up? Well, that is set up pretty dead set. You just got to take your time, line it up properly. It's not dead set, but it's dead easy to make. So now we've got a final rack decider. And DJ Simon breaking off. He's come up dry and he's left a 1 ball on. Now there are occasions when Wizard Cheat's playing where you see there that he played the right enough weight a shot to get on the 2. There's other occasions where he just slams at something. He's overdone that and hooked himself behind the 8 and the 5. So Simon's now got ball in hand and he knows the score. Wizard Cheat's got 7 and out, so Simon's got the 4, which he should get, the 5, which he should get, and the 6, which he should get. It's all about getting on to the 7. But he has to run out. This is his last chance to stay in the tournament. And don't leave yourself self short on the 6 ball. You've got to get the cue ball up. And he's left himself short, but he can still cut it in. And it's just a gentle cut. Get the cue ball out into the middle of the table. You don't need to slam it. Oh dear. He's took his eye off it, and this is it. Wizard Cheat, if he can draw out onto the 7. What's he done? Well, he's finished perfect on it, just a little roll in, and he's overcut it. Didn't take any time whatsoever to line it up, and Simon breathes again, and this time it's got to be dead weight, and he's got to leave himself short on the 8. He needs to leave the cue ball on the rail if he can, which he's done. So now he's got the angle, and he's a little bit of right spin, follow through off that side rail and down to the short side of the 9. He's going from there to there, and he's gone too far. That's the only danger, is when that 9 ball is off the rail like that, you go too far. And where's the cue ball going to go? And he's overdone it. Is it going to track in? No, and it's all over. So Simon's hung up the 9. Wizard Cheat, unless he scratches off this 9, Wizard Cheat wins the match by 4 racks to 3. So that ends DJ Simon's participation in this week's tourney. And let's see how things are going. So Wizard Cheat is now going to play Federman. Excuse me. And McClarkey is waiting on the loser of this match. And at the moment, Popman is leading by 1-0 against Daily Hustle. And this is going to be our last match. Sorry, it's not 1-0. It's I thought that was a nil. It's Daily Hustle's up 6-1. My eyes are going. Well, it's certainly going to be the last match because Daily Hustle has got the 7 hanging over the pocket. He just needs to somehow get on the 8 to have a shot in the 9 and the match is over. And that looks good. Just roll the 8 ball in. So Popman is now going to be moving over to that 1 loss side. And Popman is going to be playing McClarkey. Now this will be our last match. This match here on the 1 loss side. And we'll see that Larry is in the semi. And he's going to be playing Daily Hustle. And unfortunately for Larry, Larry's given him 6 and out. So once again, Larry's got his work cut out in that match. And meanwhile, McClarkey is given the 7 ball to Popman. Race to 4. And we will join that match if I can find a match. It's there, and I think McClarkey is already in the room, and he is, and he's just waiting on Popman arriving, who might take a minute or two. Yes, Simon, struggling for wait a shot there sometimes. Well, thanks for those that are still watching. My stream seems to have caught up with itself. There's quite a lag on it because it's been buffering. I don't know what rack that is that's shown in the stream on my end. Right, Popman's still sitting, waiting there to join the room. Well, we'll join it and just wait and see what happens. Well, Popman's joined. We're going to lag off. So Popman, player 2, is getting the 7 ball. And Popman's won the lag. Let's change the cloth colour. Right, good night, Simon. Now, the one thing we haven't looked at is, let's see where the money is in this week's tournament. Well, the lowest payout is 175 if you get to the semi-finals in the 1 loss side, and then if you get to the final there, the loser gets 230 $, and then over in the final, the runner-up gets 345 and the winner gets 600 odd. Is that 690? Well, that's not bad. Let me do a quick refresh and see if my stream will catch up. See how long it takes before it starts buffering again. Well, got a bit of cat and mouse going on here. 2 ball is blocking off the 1, and this is certainly nigh on impossible to hit. I reckon you need a blocking tackle to try and get to that. And of course, even though McClarkey's got ball in hand, he's got no shot. Is that 1 and 2 set? Nope. And straight away the stream is buffering again. I think what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to restart my router, give it a refresh. Don't think it's been restarted for quite a while. A good chance of a safety here for Potman. Just tuck that 1 ball in behind 8 and 9 and get the cue ball right up the table. Well, yeah, you can tell me what he was thinking there in the shot he played. But of course, even if McClarkey gets the 1 ball, he's got no chance of getting in the 2. Or has he? I think that's perfect. He's actually found the gap. He's got the edge of the 2. He's knocked the 8 in the process, but he's hooked himself in the 3. So, all to no avail. An easy enough kick though. And he just played it dead weight. Well, Potman should be in trouble here. He should be tucked in behind 8, 9 in a second or 2. Just catch the edge of the 3. No harm in getting a plug in. And back to the game. Potman at the table in this first rack in the race to 4. He's going to be sitting on the 7 if he can get this cut down the rail in the 6. Again, you don't need to worry a lot about the cue ball. You just need to concentrate in the pot. Cue ball has to go across the right hand side. I think he's overdone it. Just a roll through. Now, is he gone too far? No, he can just little soft draw off the 8. And this is just a nasty little cut. You just got to be careful. But in it goes, and McClarkey's off the mark. So Potman looking to play the push out. And a good opportunity here for McClarkey. If he plays this right, he can get thin off the one, off there with a bit of English, and tuck that cue ball right down the bottom of the table here somewhere. Well, he's went for the bank. In the end, he's got nothing, and he's left it on. And now the 3 and 4 are tied up. Well, I don't know whether he can see enough of that to actually pot it. Let's have a quick dash round. No, he can't. He could try and cross double it, but then you're just banging the ball and hitting and hoping. If he nudges it to the left hand rail as we look, he's going to leave a 3-9 combo, so he's got to be careful with that as well. Well, he's avoided that just. And no doubt Potman is going to jump this. And the danger again, with things being so close, easy enough to bounce the object ball or the cue ball off the table here. It's managed to stay on, but it's now dead set here for McClarkey. Open table. And he's left it way short in the 4, and straight away he's in trouble. And that's why he's overcut it by a mile there. And it's back to Potman. Excuse me to give myself another cough again. Not an easy cut this, but it looks as if he's, well, it looks as if he's got lucky there. I think he's actually blocked him up with the jaw here. I think he's snookered, is he? Yes, he can't get to the 4. He's got the kick. How's his luck? Not good, I'm afraid. 4 ball is on. Hard to say whether Potman can avoid the 8. No, he couldn't. But he's managed to get the pace right, and he's finished perfect in the 5. And this is again getting enough pace on this cue ball to get it up for the 6. A big margin of error here. Even if he overdoes it, he's still got the cut back. He's left it way short. He's at least a foot short of where the cue ball should have been. Cue ball should have been up here at least. Now he's got a thin cut, and this is where things go out of shape and go wrong. Wizard Cheat has beaten Federman by 4 racks to 1, so he's marching on with his heavy handicap. Meanwhile, Potman's played the bank on the 6. Now what does he do? He can't play the bank in the 7 because the 8 ball's blocking the pocket, so your guess is as good as mine. So Potman used his money ball there. Match is all square. 2 balls getting off the break, so is the 5. And Potman has a shot in the 1. Now the 3 ball won't go past the 6. So he's got to do a lot of work with this cue ball to get anywhere near this 3. And in the end, he's did neither. Well, he has. He got himself on the 3. Of course, it wasn't going past the 6, but he's missed a 1. And meanwhile, McClarkey, once again, is struggling for the pace of shots here. He's having to dig out shots, and you just cannot keep doing that. And now he's at distance in the 4 and having to work the cue ball again. And that's why you're going to start rattling balls and jaws here. The game becomes a lot more difficult once you get out of line. And that's why the game is so easy sometimes and so tough. Once you find your way to shot, when you're playing shots, then positional play is simple. Meanwhile, Potman's banked to 4, knocked to 6 in, and finished dead set in the 4. And this is crucial here, because if he gets this and he's on the 7, he's got another rack in the board. And we're only racing to 4, remember. Well, that's not perfect. It's an offline pot. So, Potman into the lead. Breaking open rack number 4. I'm about to head to bed, folks. We're at 10:25. We'll see the rest of this match no matter what happens. And then it's good old beddy buys, up for work at 4 AM in the morning. I've got tomorrow and Sunday to go, and then I've got a week off, thank goodness. Well, that's ended up not too bad. McClarkey, the old kick and hope here. He's left the 2 on. And these balls are sitting nice. And Potman just needs to take his time. It's a simple instruction. Just take your time. Get the weight of shot right to get on that next ball. And he's overdone it straight away. He's now gone far too far up the table, and he's now leaving himself an awkward cut in the 3, and there's only a certain position he can get the cue ball to get this 4. He has to be over here, and at worst there, he's got to get between those lines, and he's managed to do it. He's got the cut, but look at where the 5 is. He can actually pot this dead weight and still leave a shot in the 5. He just has to be delicate. He looks as if he's playing it with a bit of right English as well. And he's managed to do it. And he's perfect angle in the 5. Remember, he only needs the 5, 6 and 7. Again, hit this with enough weight to pot the 5, but get the cue ball. He's hit it too hard again. And he's getting lucky here. He's gone straight, but it's just a straight draw. So this for the match, basically, just to get up over past the 9 ball and leave a cut in the 7. Is he going forward? No, he's coming back. So that's it, folks, for this week. Well, no, it's not. He's only 2-1 up. What the hell am I talking about? I want to get in my bed sooner rather than later. I thought the match was over. You can tell I'm getting tired because my brain begins to shut down and I start saying more stupid things than I normally do. So, Potman's on the hill. He's leading by 3 racks to 1. Breaking off in rack number 5. Something went into a pocket. I don't know what one it was. The eyes have gone. What was it? 5 balls gone down. No shot in the 1. Now McClarkey can come off the right hand side of the 1 and spin the cue ball behind the 2 and keep them at distance. He looks as if he's playing the bank though. No, he's going the other way. I'll let him off with that one. He's got a good safety. I'm looking for my bottle of water. I think he's hit it too hard. Now, what does McClarkey do? He's got to go for the 1-9. And he's got it. So he's still in there. Still trailing by 1. But breaking off in rack number 6. And getting no joy again. But he's left a shot in the 1 for Potman. And he's also got the 2. Now, Potman needs to leave himself short in the 2 here. He needs to leave himself that angle. And that's, let's have a look. No, that's far too far. He needed a bit less than that. He could come off the 7 and maybe nudge into them. You never know. Well, he's tried his best there, but no joy. And all he can do is kick in behind the 9 here and hope for a bit of good fortune. Well, that's not bad. He's not left anything easy. But McClarkey's trying to draw in behind the 4. No, he's went for the pot. Now, I don't know why, because he's got no shot in the 4. He needed to hit that a lot harder to get the cue ball around, so I don't know what the point was in potting the 3. Now, easy enough to kick in behind the 4 and punch the 4 up the table. The question is whether the 4 can avoid the traffic that's in front of it. So he's just tried to edge it along the rail, and he's got it safe. That's a good shot. Very difficult to judge from the connection when you hit this 4 ball as to exactly where you're going to put it. My shot would be to push it to the rail towards the 9. McClarkey's gone the other side of it, and he's managed to avoid the 7, because if he hadn't, he would have left an easy 4 on there for Potman. Well, got a wee bit of cat and mouse here now. What does McClarkey do now? Does he go for the bank in the 4? He can reverse bank it into that top left, but at the same time he can still push the 4 ball to that top rail and bring the cue ball down here to the bottom rail and keep the distance for safety. There's a time to be brave and there's a time to be cautious. I would err on the cautious at this moment. And he's just chosen to bring the cue ball back. That's still got the desired effect. He's left it safe. But Potman can do, if he plays this with left English, he can punch the 4 up or down the table towards us as we look, and take the cue ball back to where it is at the moment. But you're just relying on cover, and he's played it far too gentle. Although he's left it in the middle of the table, and this is a dilemma. What do you do here? Now, Larry has beaten Daily Hustle by 7 racks to 3. McClarkey's potted the 4. He's got a shot in the 5. Now this is about finding the gap here. And this can certainly go wrong if he doesn't find that gap between the 7 and the 9. And meanwhile he's missed the 5. That's what he was focusing on, and Potman's got the same problem. No problem in potting the 5, he just got to judge the weight here. He wants to be able to play this 6 between the 9 and the 7. He doesn't want to go too far right, he's then going to have an awkward cut. And meanwhile he's totally taken his eye off the 5 and got it safe. Oh dear. Well, the 5's hanging over the pocket. Can McClarkey somehow catch the 5 and nudge it in? I don't know whether he can get past this 7. I think he can get past the 7 and make the edge of the 5. He's looking at rails here, but I think he can get past the 7. The 7's actually a good guide for coming and back up the table and catching the 5, and that looks good. Oh, that's unlucky. He just didn't get enough beef into it. It's a good effort. Just needed to have a wee bit more oomph in the shot to get there. And of course the 5 ball didn't catch a rail, so it's ball in hand. Well, Potman needs to pot the 5, pot the 6 and get on that 7. Not quite as easy as it sounds where the 7 is and where the cue ball is right now. Well, the shot's there. It looks straightforward enough. These can easily rattle. Got to get the line. This for the match. And it's definitely for the match this time. And he's hung it up. Oh, well. McClarkey breathes again. And he's got the 7, 8 and 9 to go to a final rack decider. How does that look? Well, it looks pretty good. I wouldn't try and be delicate here. I would roll the 8 in, get that cue ball off the end rail. And same with this 9, just roll it in gentle, let the pocket take the ball. So here we go. It's 10:35 or 10:37 at night here. I should be in bed, but we've got a final rack decider on the one lost side. McClarkey's broke off. Once again, absolutely no joy in the break. Popman's got a thin cut in the 1. And the cue ball's certainly going in the right direction towards the 2. He doesn't look as if he's playing the pot though. When he tried the combo, and he's going to scratch, is he? Yes, he is. Now, how lucky has Popman been, because ball in hand for McClarkey. The 6 ball's blocking the 9, so he can't play the 1-9 combo. So now it's all out for the run out here. And this is going to be a good shot to get on the 4. A lot of travelling to be done. And likewise for Popman, he's got a similar shot to what McClarkey had there. He's still got a lot to do. Danger of the scratch in the middle pocket here off this 3 if he plays this with a lot of bottom and draw. And that 7 ball's in the way if he's going to go forward, so all he's done is a scratch. That was a nothing shot, that one. So we're back to square one. Ball in hand. 4 ball in truth only goes into the 1 pocket. It goes into the bottom left obviously here. Does it squeeze past that 9? Yes, it does. I didn't think it did. It does. There's 2/3 of a pocket there. And the 5 goes as well. Now what does he do? Does he come out for the 6-9 combo? He's got the gap to get there. Oh, he's nudged the 9 out the way and he's left himself nowhere in the 6, so it's all gone wrong. Now what do you do in this situation? There's a very, very thin cut in this 6. I don't even think it goes unless he brushed off the 9 and went in that way. Oh, he's got it clean. That was an excellent shot. I didn't think that would cut at that angle. Just one more good shot here to get on this 8. And that looks good pace as long as he avoids the 8. Well, he's making it hard for himself here, and he's another good cut. Oh, just gone in. And another thin one in the 9, and this for the match. So McClarkey scrapes through against Popman by 4 racks to 3, and we'll have one final look at the bracket just to catch up with what's happening. So we'll see that McClarkey's now going to play Wizard Cheat, and Wizard Cheat's getting 6 and out, so McClarkey's got his work cut out in that match. And if I can get a hold of this bloody bracket, remember Larry's sitting there waiting. Larry's in the hot seat in the final. And with that, folks, thanks for those that are still watching, but I'll have to bid you good night, and we will see you again next week sometime, no doubt.